Originally, I was a harpsichord player, which is not the usual thing for a 4, 5, 6-year-old child. But it happened because we had one, and my mother had an early music background, so I was put on the harpsichord. And then people discovered that I had perfect pitch, and they thought, well, we should make use of that somehow musically. And then my mother decided that she couldn't stand violin practice, so violin was out. And who starts with a viola, really? Do you really want to carry a double bass around? No. So there you go. Cello was left over, so I was given the cello. And then liked it. When I was 15, just on to 16, I met Bill Pleath for the first time. And that obviously was a great change of my life. I had just won the Austrian Young Musician competition by chance, really. I wasn't sort of super ambitious and stuff. And then meeting Bill was kind of the turning point when I realized this could become something real. And everything has been said by Jacqueline du Pré 40 years ago about him, so I have nothing to add really. He is that sort of cello daddy figure if he really takes you on. And because he guides you in so many more things than just cello playing. He always said being a cellist is not a profession, it's a lifestyle. And he lived it, and to sort of be part of that and see that as a living role model for such a long time when you're 15, 16, 17 onwards to 25, obviously that really changes your life. So he's still sitting on my shoulder when I practice. I think that teaching really has two aspects. One is nurturing a student's musical ideas and their personality, and then far more important even is to give them the means to actually express themselves, because you can have the greatest ideas, and if you don't know what to do on the instrument, then how do you express yourself? And ideally that goes combined, because you use your instrumental technique to express what you want to say musically, and that means you have to be able to first describe what you want to do, because you'll probably not be able to play it, and then by the description sort of finding the technical solutions to what you want to say musically. So a lot of you out there will probably know my name from the Blue Bärenreiter Studies editions that I've done, and if you do the Popper studies in the Bärenreiter things, and all these comments that you're reading are mine. And that's been a tremendous experience to actually spend so much time with these etudes and recording them. But I think this is what really happens in normal quote-unquote repertoire as well. You find all the connections between the instrumental technique and what actually comes out as a sound, because the least thing we want to find ourselves in is a concert situation where you have the feeling that everything you do on the instrument becomes a random result. You want to be in charge before you play, knowing this is what I'm going to do and this is what it's going to sound like. And I think that's been part of the success of this series of etude editions, because it's taking away the fear factor of these sometimes very tricky etudes. The online learning process for me also is a novelty. It's the first time that I'm doing this, but I greatly look forward to it. And I think it's going to be a very valuable experience if you really have the chance to focus on one little detail in a piece or in a study, or of your technical issues that you might have, and where we can together find solutions that really help you to apply that in all your other studies, in all the repertoire. And I think this enormous need also to focus on the essence will speed up progress much more than it sometimes does in the one-to-one thing, where you think like, and then you get diverted and talk about something else. Whereas here, it's really sort of going to the essence, and if it's not solved, it doesn't go away.